on this particular matter. As I said that, I was handed a list that has 3 speakers: Samuel Bellamio, Alex Zimmerman, and Douglas Johnson. Our routine is generally that we allow folks 2 minutes to make a statement, that the statement be related to the ordinance or the measure that we're dealing with, and that you just mention your name for the record. We'll start with you, Mr. Bellamio.
Correct. My name is Sam Bellamio. I'm with StandUP-America. I'm here to speak my 2 minutes about the ordinance.
All right. Go ahead. Proceed. What are you doing, Sam?
This is me speaking to the ordinance.
See, this is... Well, I mean, this is not very appropriate because we allow...
Excuse me, my 2 minutes.
We need something verbal. Well, give him the 2 minutes.
No. She's going to have to tell you.
3 seconds.
Thank you.
Next up is Alex Zimmerman.
Hi, my name is Alex Zimmerman, and I want to speak about agenda because agenda is very important. So listen to my speech, please.
See, this is...
Thank you very much.
Now I call on Douglas Johnson.
My name is Douglas Johnson. I'd like to preface this as representatives of us, the audience. I would appreciate it if you all respected the voters' personal time in regards to the start time of this meeting, and I'll follow up on that and please excuse my ignorance on this, but I need to know these answers before I can continue with an educated comment on the ordinance. The first question is, are we using Robert's Rules of Order here? So that's a standard practice at these meetings. Okay. Is this a public meeting or an open forum? It is. Is that correct? It is. Okay. Now, could someone either reread or explain in layman's terms the definition of this ordinance before I make an educated comment on it?
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. I did not hear your last question.
Would somebody please reread or explain in layman's terms the definition of this ordinance before I can make an educated comment on it?
All right. On ordinance 2012-0041, are any of our staff available that worked on this? Okay. For the record, sir, could you state your name and your position with the King County Council?
Yes, for the record, I'm Rick Batista, Council staff of the Transportation, Economy, and Environment Committee. This ordinance, to provide a little bit of background, about a year and a half ago, the executive sent over a recommended change to our notice procedures that would allow us to, or allow the county to provide notice of an application for applications that typically do not require notice. It was purely done at our option. At the time that the ordinance was adopted, it was understood that they would need to have certain computer software installed over at the building department. The computer software was not installed on time and will not be in place until the middle of this year. And so what this ordinance does is that it extends this optional deadline that we had imposed upon ourselves to have that notice provided from the beginning of this year to the beginning of next year. So essentially it's a one-year extension.
Could you give us an explanation as to why it was not installed on time?
There were some computer problems, or I'm sorry, there were some vendor problems in terms of the installation of the computer software.
How are we on the budget with this?
I don't have an answer for that today.
Does anyone on the council have the answer for this?
Have the answer to what?
The budget, whether we're going over budget with this, whether we're on track, even though we're off schedule?
It is due to be online totally by June of this year, and it is budgeted.
It is budgeted, so that doesn't answer my question.
All right, your time is up. Your 2 minutes for making comments or asking questions is now up, Mr. Johnson.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gossett.
All right, you're welcome.